Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you rocking with Boosie, let me know where y'all from in the comments. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and like this video. The way the tragic events at Boosie's concert, they could have all been avoided, man. It was a big mistake. A lot of people think that Boosie's security or the security for the concert, they failed. It might have been their fault because they told everybody, everyone's supposed to empty their pockets before they go inside the venue. And this is where they wand them, go through the metal detector and everything. The security people must not have searched one of the dudes who ended up getting into Boosie's concert after the car show. He's the guy that ended up getting into the struggle with the people that he ended up popping at the concert. And this all was basically the fact that they should have never let the guy in. Like they had him go through all the security. So who did he pay off? Like, this is why Boosie said that it's fishy. He went to go and actually consult with the family and let them know that it wasn't his security team, because a lot of people thought it was Boosie's security team, but little do people know that it's multiple securities that could be at a concert. The rappers got their own security. That's for their personal protection. That's for them when they're on stage, or like somebody tries to come up backstage or whatever it is, man. But the people that's letting in the crowds, that's a whole different type of security. That's supposed to be the security for the venue. That's supposed to be the one for the concert, the promoters, whoever's putting the show together. That's the security that they hired. And so they're the ones who's supposed to search everybody and make sure nobody gets in with any type of weapon straps or anything like that. They're not even supposed to let you bring in your own food or drinks. And so the fact that they let a whole person in and they didn't properly search them, and they brought in the strap and popped two people, that's going to come back on the people who threw the event, man, because the family are the ones who lost their loved ones. Condolences to them. RIP to them. If y'all support them and y'all support Boosie, hit it in the comment section. But the families, they're demanding answers, and they want justice for the people that they lost. They were just supposed to go out, have fun, go to a car show, go to a Boosie concert, and they were supposed to return back home. They weren't supposed to get a call in the middle of the night telling them to come identify this body or whatever that happened. And so it's a sad situation, and this totally could have been avoided. Like, a lot of people say that the security totally messed up. It was a big mistake on their part. They should have been dotting their I's and crossing their T's, because you got people out here paying hundreds of dollars just to get in. You got rappers, the artists, they're getting paid thousands, tens of thousands to do the show. The whole venue is bringing in hundreds of thousands of money. And so you're supposed to keep this place proper and to the rules, man. And so a lot of people think they was slacking by letting the guy get in. Maybe the security got like a little, he gave him $100 just to let him slip by or something like that. Maybe the guy came through a side door. Maybe somebody else let him in and he didn't even have a ticket at all. But when they see who all bought the tickets, they're going to be able to know and narrow it down to the few people that ended up running off. This all was caught on camera. This all happened in public, and there's a lot of witnesses too. So once they capture the guy, he's on the run for now, but he's probably not going to get away, because they're going to rewind the tape and find out when they pulled up in the parking lot, what car, what plate it was, because this whole area they were at was a venue that's filled with cameras and security. But this thing, he ended up slipping through the cracks. You know, a lot of times that happens when, you know, it's a rap concert and maybe the people don't take it as serious. Everybody's turned up. It's lackadaisical. They're really out there just, you know, milking the clock. The security could have been milking the clock, and, you know, some guy came up and he high fives them, all energy, you know, smiling in their face and everything. And it just didn't cross their mind to check the guy. And that's a lot of times people slip by just by being nice and talking to the people, and y'all having such a good time. The security forget to even check you because they over here chit-chatting with you, high-fiving and dapping it up and everything like that. And so this clearly could have been what happened. Now, for the issue where they got into the argument and the dude popped the 2 rounds off, like Boosie and everything, they didn't see this coming. Boosie was in the middle of the performance. All of a sudden you hear the pops go off, and Boosie turn around, he look at the section, and the security's already running on stage to get him off. and they stopped the whole show because the guy even one of the security staff went to the DJ and took his hand off the scratch record, and you could hear the whole music stop, and everybody in the crowd was like looked up, and basically they looked at the people in the back who just popped off the shots, and those guys, they were yelling, and they tried to put their hoodie up and run out the side. They had to push people out their way because it was still a lot of people in between them and the exit doors. And so there were security on the corners, and it was a race to get to them. Like, they were all running and chasing after them. The dudes hopped into the car. They fired the car up and took off and everything. They must have just parked in the right spot and everything, but the parking lot got cameras. So when the security went running after them, by the time that the guys got to the car and the security got outside the doors, they were already driving down to the main street, but they passed by a major intersection that has a traffic camera. The red light, they ran through a red light, and the camera flashed. Because when you run through a red light camera, they got a flash that goes. It takes a picture of your whole car with the license plate. It takes a picture of the back of the car and the front of the car. So not only do they have the license plate, but they got the picture of the driver through the front windshield, what they look like and everything. So they're going to be able to grab the witnesses. If they get anyone that fits the description, they're going to put them in the lineup, and they're going to have people point them out. But a lot of people say that, the guys were at the car show, and they're known from social media. Like, a lot of people know who their Instagrams are. They're already being talked about. The people in Omaha actually know what's going on. They know that this whole thing isn't just some coincidence. It's people that knew each other that had some issues, and they ran into each other at the Boosie show, and things popped off and everything. And it got to the point where the dudes, they were so heated, or either maybe they were scared of the guys that they were going to do something first, or they just blew it out of proportion. But once the rounds and popped off and everything, the whole show stopped. Everybody was like, who are they? We got to get them and everything, because they just ruined it for a lot of people. Now Boosie's not going to be able to get booked as easy, because people got to think about, is there going to be another incident? Now the place in Omaha, that venue, they're probably not going to have anybody show up for a little while, because they're still shook and spooked from what just happened in their small town. You got to understand, this all happened in a small town, so it's got everybody on red alert. Like, they don't want no rappers coming there anytime soon. They don't want no big concerts or any big gatherings. They're shutting down car shows just because these dudes messed it up for everybody who was out there trying to do it the right way, trying to have fun, bring the family out together. And, car shows is like where they bring car shows. People come out with all their whole folks. People are out there with their sons, daughters, moms, and dads and everything. And so they don't need people coming out there and trying to make a dangerous situation, getting into fights, getting into arguments, trying to make things start, and basically making it a bad thing now, turning a good thing into a bad thing. Nobody likes that. And so people want to just be able to go out, have peace, have fun, do their thing, watch the show, and come back. They don't want to deal with nobody who's into it with another person. They don't want to have somebody's beef spill out in front of them at a show that everybody in public is at. And so this is why everybody is basically looking over their shoulders now, keeping their head on the swivel, because it could happen anywhere. And it just happened in that small town. And Boosie's team is trying to work hard to make sure that everybody understands that he didn't have nothing to do with it. And so now they're looking at the security for questions, and this is where the investigation is going. So stay tuned for all the updates, man. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know.